Gratitude and humility, the secret to lasting happiness. Yeah, we're going to find out ways that we can cultivate gratitude and humility to create lasting happiness and inner peace. Let's start by diving into a question that might shake up your perspective. What if the key to true happiness isn't in chasing more, but in fully seeing and valuing what's already right here? This is the invitation of gratitude and humility. It's a pair of soul tools that transform how we experience everything. From daily routines to the biggest life shifts and changes. In this video, we're gonna answer some profound questions. Hi, friends. I'm Scott, and I welcome you to be one with me as we journey together to be the best we can. I make content on expanding consciousness and spiritual solutions to everything in our mind, body, and spirit. How do gratitude and humility work? How do they work together to deepen connections and authentic joy? Often we forget and we get caught up in wanting what's next, what's missing, or what could be better. And, in that rush, we overlook the quiet power of appreciating what is already present. How often do you pause and really look at the people, experiences, and simple comforts that shape your life? Can you name a few things or people you've taken for granted? Gratitude asks us to take inventory, not out of obligation or cheerleading, but as a grounding practice that rewires our perspective. When we consciously acknowledge the value our relationships, our health, our opportunities, or even the smallest joys, like a morning cup of coffee, a smile from a stranger, for a stranger, we shift our energy. This shift brightens our internal landscape. And it makes it easier to face challenges and it invites more goodness into our lives. Think about a moment when you felt genuinely grateful. How did that feeling change your mood, your outlook, or even your interactions with others? Try to tap into that feeling. Sometimes gratitude. Sometimes gratitude can feel forced or superficial, especially if life feels hard. But here's the truth: gratitude isn't about denying struggle or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging what is real and meaningful, alongside the difficulty. When you're in the middle of a tough season, can you find even one thing, no matter how small, that grounds you. Maybe it's the support of a friend, a lesson that you've learned, or the resilience you've discovered within yourself. Holding that in your awareness creates a foothold of strength and peace. Alongside gratitude lives humility. It's balancing force. Humility reminds us we're human, fallible, and part of a bigger story. It's what helps us navigate the ups and downs without losing our center. It asks us to picture a time when we experienced a big win, maybe a promotion or a personal goal, or a moment of recognition. Did you notice that you wanted to savor the moment fully, without arrogance? That's humility grounding you. On the flip side, it's think about a time when you faced a setback or disappointment. Did humility help you accept the situation without harsh self-judgment? Or that's the ability to rise with grace, and that comes from embracing the humility. Humility also softens the edges of our desire to control outcomes and maintain constant highs. Life's rhythm naturally flows between peaks and valleys. Without humility, we might cling desperately to the highs or feel crushed by the lows. Have you ever felt the crash after a high point and struggled to find balance? Recognizing that this ebb and flow is natural helps us settle into acceptance and stay steady through it all. When gratitude and humility dance together, they create grounds for a grounded joy. It isn't dependent on circumstances. Gratitude lifts our heart, while humility roots us in reality. This balance protects us from entitlement and pride, which can isolate us from others and disconnect us from what truly matters. Have you noticed how feeling entitled or proud can push people away? How does that compare to moments when you felt genuinely connected, and humble? Our relationships are a mirror for these qualities, and people and opportunities don't just appear. They are the result of ongoing energy choices and care. When we nurture those connections with gratitude, we deepen our bonds. When we approach them with humility, we open to growth and understanding. Without gratitude, we risk taking those bonds for granted. And without humility, we risk thinking we deserve everything without effort. Can you identify a relationship in your life that could benefit from more gratitude and humility, you know? What might that look like in your day-to-day interactions? You know, living well means being intentional with our energy. It means showing up consciously, even when it's hard. It's easy to say that happiness shouldn't take work, but anything worth having requires care and attention. When your efforts are fueled by gratitude and tempered with humility, that becomes that work becomes joyful, you know. Imagine a difficult conversation, challenging task with that mindset, you know. How might your experience change? In moments of struggle, gratitude acts like a beacon. It helps us find purpose and see beyond temporary pain. In moments of success, humility acts like an anchor. It keeps us grounded and connected, and together they help us maintain emotional consistency, and spiritual clarity. They guide us to the next right step, whether we're celebrating or healing. And we have to ask, how am I practicing gratitude? How am I practicing gratitude today? What am I truly thankful for? And does that shift my mood or motivation? Whereas humility, showing up in my life, helping me accept both my strengths and limitations. I have asked often, how can I bring more of this dynamic duo into my daily routine and live more with more peace, presence, and authentic joy. Gratitude and humility aren't abstract ideas. They're practical, powerful habits that shape our experience and our relationships. They teach us to cherish what we have, respect ourselves and others, and stay open to life's unfolding. When we live with these twin pillars as our foundation, we don't just survive life's storms, we thrive through them, with grace and heart. And that's where true happiness lives, So anyway, like and share this video, and let me know in the comments about the lessons, inspiration, spiritual guidance you found in this video, and how you practice gratitude and humility in your life. Subscribe to this channel. More is coming from the heart for the soul. And remember, a smile can make someone's day, and the right words may change their life. Check out one of these videos. And and I love you. Be you. Be one with me.